tragedy for the victim. It was a cold-blooded, calculated murder from the standpoint of both of the defendants. I see some difference, frankly, motives. That's a good thing. It seems to me, as certainly as has been argued, Mr. Lewis is the person without which this would never have come about. Mr. Clark was, he pulled the trigger, and I don't totally disagree with Mr. Hogue about how that should be dealt with, except that part of his arrangement, apparently, and as I would call it, was that he would give testimony, and he would say, look, I'll tell you what happened and what went on and why all this happened. My recollection is that from Mr. Lewis's standpoint, I think there was some testimony, and I may not have it exactly right, that he had approached Mr. Taylor about finding somebody. Mr. Taylor had asked one person, and he wasn't interested, and asked somebody else, and Mr. Lewis was just going to find somebody to do what he wanted done. He was going to pay money and not be the trigger man, and hopefully, let Mr. Clark or whoever else might be willing to do it for money take the heat and the rap, and he'd be out of the picture. And with all due respect to Mr. Clark, I just think he was somebody that would, as I think Mr. Taylor said, he'd do most anything for money. He wasn't a real smart individual, as I recall, and was just like, hey, give me the money, what do you want me to do? Mr. Lewis took advantage of that. Mr. Lewis was a much smarter individual. He had made money, he had run a trucking company, he had, as Mr. Bipper pointed out, when he got into trouble as a result of apparently some, I don't know if it was mismanagement, but my recollection is the trucks were just not as safe as they were supposed to be. And he ends up with some problems with the transportation board and devised a plan to get around that. But that's, and the really sad part about all this is the testimony was he was facing a maximum of 12 months in prison. He was facing 12 months in prison if he got convicted of whatever he was being charged with. He had done, I believe, 90 days or 60 days or something like that previously, but he was facing 12 months in prison. And he hires a man to literally take out and kill the man who's going to testify against him over a possible 12-month sentence. And that is hard for me to comprehend. But having considered all of this and looked at all of it and heard all the testimony and the evidence over a week's time, it is my decision that I am going to sentence Mr. Lewis to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. I'm also going to sentence him for 10 years for conspiracy, and that will run consecutive to the life sentence. And that will be the sentence of the court. Any questions from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any questions from the defense?
No, Your Honor.